Well, they've finally done it. I don't know why I'm so surprised. After the release of The Last Guardian, I knew they would have to release a remake of some sort of Shadow of the Colossus. Well, I say remake, but from what I've heard and from what I understand, they're remaking Shadow of the Colossus in the same way, in the same perspective, that Activision remade the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Updating the graphics suitable for the PS4, but still keeping true to the original source material. So, with the announcement of the remake coming out, I thought it would be a great time to talk about the original. So, without further ado, here's my Shadow of the Colossus review. However, before I get started, I would like to say that Shadow of the Colossus is a really special game to me because, well, it was the first game that I played that showed me how great video games can be, so you are watching a biased video here. And I don't think it needs to be said, but this video will contain spoilers for the full game of Shadow of the Colossus. You have been warned. Shadow of the Colossus was released on October 18th, 2005 for the Sony PlayStation 2 by a company now known as Team Ico. It was met with critical praise for its graphics, storytelling, premise, music and minimalism. They also released an HD remaster for the PS3 in 2011. Sorry, I'm just admiring the special edition cover. It's really nice. It is really nice. It comes with art from the game. This is... You don't see things like that nowadays. It's all digital download. The story is probably the hardest thing to talk about, not because I don't want to spoil anything, but the story is ambiguous. The game starts with a young man whose name is Wander, on a horse carrying a young woman whose name is Mono, on the horse's back. They both come to a temple entrance. Once he enters the temple, he places the young woman on an altar. We are then greeted by a flashback sequence when an older sounding man talks about a mysterious land known as the Forbidden Lands.
Was Yuhik Aurel Yekforon Ikudu Ibikuka You little iron bull. You little cock. I use the Uracle Doloya. Aulik, Olazulam, cause. Ilzozeri ku at zoko. I'm not screwed. Laomism wop. Was you the last also? View houses is good. Equal kizado you lola. Is this was I? How miss quick. You are la quicker.
Back in the temple, Wander watches over Mono when a mysterious voice comes from above. We find out that Mono is dead and Wander's mission is to bring her back to life. Except, the mysterious voice accepts his request but warns him but if he does get his wish in bringing her back to life, the price will be high.
Dormi before Alula Ostu Hailwa Wuku Aikwa Ujuk Yazu Tsudoko Was Nordekyo Utiura
I will you
Izukyumku Idus Orodo you Iweriko It's not alls Amuzo Alu Diklik Oil I'll bet
I was beautiful, nothing peace, not words. On those around, I will confused. Ale was not you were and you were no
You do You bet Sanada
I heard was no suit. Oh, you are here, I answer. Was you and beer, Oriku, Jula, Ukira Jula. No suit, you were, I'll do,
All around
Now, the average player would probably presume that the relationship between Wander and Mono is boyfriend-girlfriend, but it's not explicitly explained or told that the relationship is boyfriend-girlfriend. The relationship could be easily brother and sister or just friends, and the story wouldn't change whatsoever. One good theory that I've heard is that Wander is Mono's killer, and he's doing what he's doing through guilt rather than love. The voice then tells him that he can't bring Mono back to life until he defeats 16 colossi scattered about the Forbidden Lands, and that's where Wander's adventure begins. In fact, I think the best way to tell of the introduction of the story of Shadow of the Colossus is on the Japanese demo disc. small, bright moon shone from the gap between the clouds. A lone silhouette picked its way down the mountain path, blown by an icy breeze. Silently pressing onward, the shadow at last arrived at a vast desert. As dawn unveiled the contours of the land, so too did the silhouette coalesce into a solitary rider. Upon the traveller's horse was balanced a burden wrapped in white liner. Leaving the wasteland behind them, the pair travelled onwards. They trudged through the dreary raindrops, pounding down like tears out of heaven. They toiled through the scorching heat of a white-hot sun. Countless days passed until at last the traveller's eyes caught sight of an arched bridge far in the distance. Many times did the sun overhead before they finally reached the bridge, and many more did the stars shine in the heavens before they arrived at the end of the bridge, where a colossal shrine awaited. Not a soul stirred within the sacred temple. At the end of a vast cloister lined by legions of monstrous statues was carved an altar. Upon reaching the dais, the youth dismounted from his saddle. As he took the cloth-wrapped bundle from the back of his horse, the white fabric parted to reveal the corpse of a beautiful young woman. The youth gently placed her body on the altar. As for the gameplay, that consists of two sections. The first section is where you are riding your horse, and the second section is when you're fighting a colossus. And that's it. There are no NPCs to fight, no side quests to take care of, no unnecessary padding. I just can't think of another game that's remotely like Shadow of the Colossus. And that's what the game basically is. 16 boss battles, one after the other. You defeat a Colossus, onto the next one. You defeat that 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 Colossus, and so 6th and so 7th until you finally get to the 16th Colossus. That's it. Riding your horse aggro and fighting a Colossus. Some may say that the gameplay can become boring or repetitive after a while, but the pacing is so good. I will show you what I mean. I will show you a clip of Wander riding aggro, and then I'll show you a clip of Wander fighting a Colossus. Riding your horse is so atmospheric, and fighting a Colossus is epic and full of action. Each time you kill a Colossus, black tentacle-like things come from its body and into Wander. No matter what, there's no escaping the black tentacle thing. Now is the time I probably should mention the elephant in the room. Your morals. The thing about Shadow of the Colossus is that you are basically murdering innocent creatures where most of them don't even attack you. And yes, I do say most Colossus, because some Colossi do attack you. The 11th Colossus, Celosia, the 14th Colossus, Zenobia, the 1st Colossus, Valus, and the 3rd Colossus, Gaius, attack you. But that is more through curiosity than anything else. On a side note, Gaius is a bastard to defeat. Damn Gaius. The only Colossi that directly attack you are the 10th Colossus, Dirge, and the 16th Colossus, Malice. But that's it. That's what the game is trying to say. How far are you willing to go to get what you want? Is it even worth it? Apart from the Colossi, Shadow of the Colossus has 6 characters. We have already talked about Wander and Mono, so let's talk about the other 4. There is Dorman, the mysterious voice, Eamon, Black, the one from the flashback, and Agro, your horse. Dorman, like all the other Colossus battles, gives you a clue and then you're on your way. Whilst you're defeating Malice, the 16th Colossus, Nimon and his guards arrive at the temple. They are greeted with the final statue exploding. Imon realises what is going on when Wander returns from fighting the last Colossus. More dead than ever before. He orders one of his guards to kill him. As he does, a black liquid pours from his chest. Wander then turns into Dorman. Imon and his guards flee whilst Wander/Dorman attacks them. When Imon is at a safe distance, he throws the sword that you used to kill each Colossus into a lake. Finally, the game puts you back in control of Wander, but it's pointless. When your goal was so close, you must ask yourself, was it really all worth it? And that's another thing. Who was the protagonist and who was the antagonist? Well, you could say that this is all black and white and Dorman was the antagonist whilst Wander was the protagonist. But let's think about that for a second. All through the game, Dorman has helped Wander and given him what he wanted. Even in occasions he would tell you how to defeat each Colossus. But Wander has been selfish all through the game, doing what he's doing for self means, for self purposes. But let's look more into it. Dorman must have done some terrible things to be confined in a place like this, but he doesn't show any of that throughout the game. Throughout the game, he has been helpful to Wander, giving him clues on how to find and defeat each Colossus, and at the end, he fulfills his promise about bringing Mono back to life. Even Agro, your horse, is still alive by the end. And now let's look at Wander. Wander's mission was to bring Mono back, and he did it through 16 some may consider majestic creatures. He has been selfish throughout the game, not caring about anything apart from himself. I'm not saying that Wander is the antagonist. I'm saying, in a way, that Wander and Dormin are the same. After all, Dormin is doing what he's doing for selfish desires too. I will only bring this girl back to life if you kill these creatures to set me free.
Kiumuku audikov. Bika uolaid. Or the you la kaya. Ora makudu. Izo yuri ilzo. Yukizo edihiko ebikiku aloa to kair. Anli kong ayudikanga yukei.